What's up, guys? Welcome or welcome back to my channel here. Watch what happens next. By the title, you can tell we'll be diving into one of the most requested, not the most, but one of them requested videos for me to make, and that is a Pride and Prejudice reaction. And I've been holding off on this for a while because I'm just like, for one, it's a very long movie. Like it's like 2 hours and like 2 minutes or something. It's up there with like Narnia, and I want to do the last Lord of the Rings, but it's like 3 hours, and I'm just like, I have to watch that, edit it, and watch it again. Like, that's crazy. But here I am. I'm in my sweater. Listen, I know I wore this like the last movie reaction, but baby, it's comfy and it's gloomy outside, per usual for the District of Columbia. But I felt like I needed a hug. I needed a hug to watch this movie because I think it's gonna be sad. Listen, y'all also y'all always suggested me to watch these sad movies, baby. It's like I love to cry. Trust me, I love to cry. I love to let my feels flow. But I'd be like, oh my goodness, I'm getting choked. But but I'm excited to get into this one. If you guys like the full and unedited version of this reaction and more depth, check out my Patreon, which will be linked in the description box below. And yeah, do all the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because why not? We already hit 25,000, baby. Dum 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 dum. Right? Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I'm so elated. I'm just so everything under the everything under the sun. Like, oh my god. I just can't express that enough. Like I genuinely can't. Yeah, I'm like gonna tell you guys here something. Without further ado, let's get right into the movie. That is a Pride and Prejudice, baby. Okay. Isn't this like a book too? I think it's a book also. I can't really detest it. Period. We love a reading queen. What is that? Just like a, is that like a pool? No sheets remind me like The Conjuring. Crazy time. I wish I knew how to play the piano. I'm not really good with any instruments, actually.
Lydia? Lily?
Mr. Bennet, have you heard? Netherfield Park is let at last. Do you not want to know who has taken it?
As you wish to tell me.
Taken what?
I doubt I have it.
And she just walking around, giving us a view of the place, giving us a tour.
Lydia, what have I told you about listening to the...
Is that,
Mind that this...
the girl from, Hunger Games? Joanna? This cast is kind of packed.
Mr. Bennet, how can you be so tiresome? You know he must marry one of them.
So that is his design in settling
You
here.
must go and visit him.
People.
He in this too. This, Snow?
For we may not visit if you do not, as you well know, Mr. Bennet.
Evans B.
There's no need. I already have.
Has?
What?
Oh, Mr. Bennet, how can you tease me so? Have you no compassion for my poor nerves?
Girl.
Papa?
Is he amiable?
Who? Is he handsome? Who?
He's sure to be handsome.
With 5,000 a year, it would not matter if he had warts and a leer.
Who's got warts?
I will give my heart a...
She just trying to figure out what's going on, and everybody's ignoring her.
So will he come to the ball tomorrow, Papa?
I believe so.
So I'm guessing they're gonna try to set him up with one of the girls. They're gonna be like trying to fight for his love or attention.
2 weeks I'll do it.
That house was very ran down for to be doing that time. Cause wouldn't it just be like newly built? What year is it? Like the 1800s, I think. Is this supposed to be like in the Bridgerton era?
Not every man in the room does not end the evening in love with you, but I am no judge of beauty.
All men.
No, they are far too easy to judge.
They're not all bad.
Cumulus poppycocks in my limited experience.
One of these days, Lizzie, someone will catch your eye, and then you'll have to watch your tongue.
Girl, I'm with Lizzie. It's Slim Pickens around here. So I'm guessing this is the guy. Why everybody just stopped? They said money walk in the room, y'all.
The which of the painted peacocks is our Mr. Bingley?
Well, he's on the right, and on the left is his sister.
And the person with the quizzical brow?
Is his good friend, Mr. Darcy. Miserable he may be, but poor he most certainly.
Period. Poor, he's most certainly is not. He got that corn, that mignon, that cheese, that cheddar. Wouldn't it feel weird you just walk into a party where everybody having fun and everybody just started to be quiet just because you walked in? That would be weird to me. Then they offer all their girls.
Mr. Bingley, my eldest daughter, you know. Mrs. Bennet, Miss Jane Bennet, Elizabeth.
Not the Bennets. Like Bonnie.
Delighted to make your acquaintance.
And may I introduce Mr. Darcy of Pemberley in Derbyshire.
He looks unimpressed. And unamused. Uninterested. All of the above.
The library at Netherfield, I've heard, is one of the...
So wait, he's the one they're after.
I mean, I can read, of course. And I'm not suggesting you can't read.
I wish I read more, but there always seems to be...
She want him, the mysterious one. I mean, I would too.
You will never, ever believe what we're about to tell you. But tell me quickly, my
Going to take the bed.
The regiment are going.
What'd she say?
As far as the eye can see.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, look. Jane's dancing with Mr. Bingley.
Oh, period. She gonna get him, her sister gonna get the other one. That wig on him is crazy.
Will you dance, Mr. Darcy?
Not if I can help it.
Well, he's a pleasure to be around.
I didn't know you were coming to see me. What's the matter?
We are a long way from Grosvenor Square, are we not, Mr. Darcy?
She is the most beautiful creature I have ever
Not a
met.
creature.
But her sister Elizabeth is very agreeable.
Perfectly tolerable, I dare say. Not handsome enough to tempt me. You'd better...
Ooh. Not handsome enough to... Girl, he just called you mid.
If he liked you, you'd have to talk to him.
Precisely. As it is, I wouldn't dance with him for all of Derbyshire.
He's a real stick in the mud. Now he fan of her. Is he making his way to us?
Your friend Miss Lucas is a most amusing young woman.
Oh, it is a pity she's not more handsome.
Mama?
Oh, but Lizzie will never admit that she's plain.
Why is she doing that? Like, girl, you knocking somebody else down to lift your daughter up? Girl, you're not the handsomest either, sis.
Poetry and driving away love.
I thought that poetry was the food of love.
But if it is only a vague inclination, I'm convinced one poor sonnet will kill it stone dead.
So what do you recommend? To encourage affection.
Curious, just curious.
Dancing, even if one's partner is barely tolerable.
He said, you know what, you read, you know your stuff, baby. I might be able to fall in love with you. I might. Just a maybe.
Mr. Bingley is just what a young man ought to be.
Handsome, conveniently rich.
You know perfectly well I do not believe marriage
I
should be driven by thoughts of money.
Only the deepest love will persuade me into matrimony, which is why I will end up an old maid.
Do you really believe he liked me, Lizzie?
He danced with you most of the night and stared at you for the rest of it. All the world is good and agreeable in your eyes.
Not his friend. Oh, I still can't believe what he said about you.
Mr. Darcy.
She like him. She like... Girl.
And then he danced the third with Miss Lucas.
Oh, there, dear.
That mama is too much for me.
More handsome. There's a spinster in the making and no mistake. Oh, Mr. Bennet, the way you carry on, anyone would think our girls look forward to a grand inheritance.
He has 6 girls, no boys.
A letter addressed to Miss Bennet, Mum, from Netherfield Ward.
Praise the Lord. You're safe.
Make haste.
Oh, happy.
It is from Caroline Bingley. She has invited me to dine with her. Her brother will be dining out.
Dining out? Let me see that.
It is too far to walk, Mamma.
Dining out.
Countable of him dining out, indeed.
Mama, the carriage for Jane.
Certainly not. She'll go on horseback.
Oh my God.
Kind friends will not hear of me returning home until I am better. But do not be alarmed. Excepting a sore throat, fever, and a headache, there is nothing much wrong with me. This is ridiculous.
Well, if Jane does die, it'll be a comfort to know it was in pursuit of Mr. Bingley.
People, but she may well perish with the shame of having such a mother.
Ooh. She might have nibbled with that because that mama like, girl, I understand during that time they wanted to come up, but girl, come on, golly.
Good Lord, Miss Elizabeth, did you walk here?
I did.
I love that you can only hear the clock ticking.
I'm so sorry. How is my sister?
She's upstairs.
He look like he's interested. And I'm here for it.
My goodness, did you see her hem? 6 inches deep in mud. She looked positively medieval.
Girl.
I don't know who is more pleased at your being here, Mamma or Mr. Bingley. Oh. Thank you for tending to my sister so diligently. She is in far better comfort here than she would have been at home.
It's a pleasure.
He's so sweet.
Not a pleasure that she's ill, of course not. It's a pleasure that she's here, being ill.
Go ahead. Put it on me.
It's all going according to plan. He's half in love with her already.
Who is Blossom?
Mr. Bingley. And he doesn't mind a bit that she hasn't a penny, for he has more than enough for the two of them.
That mama. Where's this set at? The UK? Falling down, London Bridge. What they playing, London Bridges?
How many letters you must have occasion to write, Mr. Darcy? Letters of business, too. How odious I should think them.
It is fortunate.
Do tell your sister that I long to see her.
I've already told her once by her.
I thought she was a sister. That painting in the back is beautiful.
Well, I think it's amazing you young ladies have the patience to be so accomplished. You all paint tables and play the piano and embroider cushions. I never heard of a young lady, but people say she is accomplished.
The word is indeed applied too liberally. I cannot boast of knowing more than half a dozen women in all my acquaintance that are...
Goodness, you must comprehend a great deal in the idea.
I do.
She must have a thorough knowledge of music, singing, drawing, dancing, and the modern languages to deserve the word.
And of course she must improve her mind by extensive reading.
I'm no longer surprised at your knowing only 6 accomplished women. I rather wonder now at your knowing any.
Are you so severe on your own sex?
I never saw such a woman. She would certainly be a fearsome thing to behold.
I like him.
Miss Elizabeth, let us take a turn about the room.
No, to turn about the room? Girl, why are we walking around the room?
You can only have 2 motives, Caroline, and I would interfere with either.
But do tell us, Mr. Darcy.
Either you are in each other's confidence and you have secret affairs to discuss, or you are conscious that your figures appear to the greatest advantage by walking. If the first, I should get in your way. If the second, I can admire you much better from here.
Shocking. You're too proud, Mr. Darcy. And would you consider pride a fault or a virtue?
That I couldn't say.
Because we're doing our best to find a fault in you.
Maybe it's that I find it hard to forgive the follies and vices of others, or their offences against me. My good opinion, once lost, is lost forever.
Okay. That sounds like a poem in itself.
Dear, I cannot tease you about that.
The way they speak is just different. I love that shot. That was so cool. Not cool, but it's just like, I loved it. Like,
A Mrs. Bennet, a Miss Bennet, a Miss Bennet, and a Miss Bennet, sir.
Oh, for heaven's sake, are we to receive every Bennet in the country?
What an excellent room you have, sir. Such expensive...
shit like she never been nowhere. Please.
I find the country very diverting. Don't you agree, Darcy?
I find it perfectly adequate, even if society is a little less varied than in town.
Less varied? Not at all. We dine with 4 and 20 families of all shapes and sizes.
Mr. Bingley, is it true that you have promised to hold a ball here at Netherfield?
A ball?
It would be an excellent way to meet new friends. You could invite the militia. They're excellent company.
Do hold a ball.
Are they suggesting that he hold the ball?
When your sister is recovered, you shall name the day.
Mr. Bingley, I don't know how to thank you.
You're welcome any time you feel the least bit poorly.
Thank you for your stimulating company. It has been most instructive.
Not at all. Pleasure is all mine.
So do they like each other or they don't? I'm confused.
Mr. Darcy?
Miss Elizabeth?
Period. He like our girl. Oh, maybe not. You see what he hold her hand open? Maybe he got like a hygiene thing.
I have reason to expect an addition to our family party.
His name is Mr. Collins. He's the dreaded cousin.
Who's to inherit?
Everything, apparently.
Even my piano store belongs to Mr. Collins.
But why?
Because the estate passes directly to him and not to us poor females.
That was a sick time, wasn't it? Especially for women.
And what excellent boiled potatoes.
I love potatoes. It's literally my favorite vegetable.
Mr. Collins, we are perfectly able to keep a cook.
Excellent. I'm very pleased the estate can afford such a living.
How happy for you, Mr. Collins, to possess the talent for flattering with such delicacy.
Or are they the result of previous study?
They arise chiefly from what is passing at the time. And though I do sometimes amuse myself with arranging such little elegant
He was familiar too. I don't know what else he added in.
Believe me, no one would suspect your manners to be rehearsed.
Oh my goodness. The girls are showing out at this table.
After dinner, I thought I might read to you all for an hour.
Read to me for an hour?
No, I'm going to pass on that one.
Are you familiar with Fordyce's sermons, Miss Bennet? Do you know that I've been bestowed by the good grace of Lady Catherine de Bourgh a parsonage of no mean size?
I have become aware of the fact.
Well, it is my avowed hope that soon I may find a mistress for it, and I have to inform you that the eldest Miss Bennet has captured my special attention.
Unfortunately, it is incumbent upon me to eldest Miss Bennet is very soon to be engaged.
Yes, engaged. But isn't he like the cousin? I'm confused.
The entire sex.
Yours,
Wow.
I believe.
Oh, Mr. Wickham, how perfect you are.
Picked up my hand.
That's a beautiful man.
Mr. Wickham's a lieutenant.
What are you up to, Liddy?
I just happened to be looking for some ribbon.
Wait, for the ball.
Shall we all look?
Just one of us. Just one of us.
How you doing? I have very poor taste in ribbons.
Only a man truly confident of himself would admit to that.
No, it's true.
Dear, oh dear. You must be the shame of the regiment.
What laughing stock?
What do your superiors do with you?
That's a pretty man. I can't say that enough.
I'm of next to no importance, so it's easily done.
You know, I can honestly see her with him too.
I was just on my way to your house.
Mr. Bingley, how do you like my ribbons for your ball?
Very beautiful.
She is. Look at her. She's
Oh,
glowing.
God.
Sure to invite Mr. Wickham. He is a credit to his profession.
Lydia, you can't
Oh.
invite people to other people's balls.
Now they giving each other looks like that, or they know each other. Like he's so pretty. Like, they would have pretty babies. Like their babies would be so pretty.
Forgive me, but are you acquainted with him? With Mr. Darcy?
Indeed, I've been connected with his family since infancy.
Oh, okay.
Well, I hope that your plans in favour of Meryton will not be affected by your relations with the gentleman.
Oh no, it is not for me to be driven away. If he wishes to avoid seeing me, he must go.
Period.
Not I.
What is the manner of your disapproval of Mr. Darcy?
It's personal.
We grew up together, Darcy and I. His father treated me like a second son. Loved me like a son.
What happened?
His father bequeathed me the rectory in his estate. He knew I had my heart set on joining the church. But Darcy ignored his wishes and gave the living to another man.
Oh.
But why?
Jealousy. His father, well, he loved me better and Darcy couldn't stand it.
I mean, of course. I mean, that's understandable.
So now I'm a poor foot soldier, too lowly even to be noticed.
It's okay. You got your looks. You look good.
I'll discover the truth from Mr. Bingley.
Ashley, don't do that.
If it is not true, let Mr. Darcy contradict it himself.
Poor unfortunate Mr. Wickham.
On the contrary, Wickham is twice the man Darcy is.
And let us hope a rather more willing dancer.
Oh, God. Here he go. So you got Darcy, Loki liking her, him liking her, the foot soldier liking her. My girl's a hot commodity. Just saying. For them to say she wasn't the most handsome.
Always doing what's best for her family.
Now he following us. I love the way they did that. Is she looking for Darcy or the foot soldier?
Have you seen Mr. Wickham?
Perhaps he's through here.
Girl. I don't... These names. There's too many names.
Mr. Wickham is not here. Apparently he's been detained.
I guess that's the foot soldier?
He must be here.
There you are. Perhaps you will do me the honour, Miss Elizabeth.
Oh. I did not think you danced, Mr. Collins.
I'm dead. Oh, he's a short fella. He's a short king. You know, short kings need love too.
Apparently your Mr. Wickham has been called on some business to town.
Did Darcy do it?
Sure, dancing is of little consequence to me, but it does for the opportunity to lavish.
Why would you try to have a conversation during this time?
It is my intention, if I may be so bold, to remain close to you throughout the evening.
You want to remain close to me throughout the evening?
Oh!
No. Hey.
May I have the next dance, Miss Elizabeth?
Oh, okay. Period, Darcy. He liked that girl. He said, I like you. I like it right now. Oh, that look, Mr. Collins will be standing in the back part brewing somewhere.
I love this dance.
Indeed, most invigorating.
I talked about the dance. Now you ought to remark on the size of the room or the number of couples.
I'm perfectly happy to oblige. Please advise me of what you would like most to hear.
That reply will do for present. Perhaps by and by I may observe that private balls are much pleasanter than public ones. For now we may remain silent.
Elizabeth.
Tell me, do you and your sisters very often walk to Meryton?
Yes, we often walk to Meryton. It's a great opportunity to meet new people.
Mr. Wickham is blessed with such happy manners. He is sure of making friends. Whether he's capable of retaining them is less certain.
He's been so unfortunate as to lose your friendship, and I dare say that is an irreversible event.
It is. Why do you ask such a question?
To make out your character, Mr. Darcy.
And what have you discovered?
Very little.
But Elizabeth, we can't be judgmental about something that we don't know about, right?
I hope to afford you more clarity in the future.
Period. Ooh, it's like nobody else is around. It's just us. I ate it up when they did it in Bridgerton too. Period. Why was she so mad? I don't... Girl, that's none of your business.
Mr. Darcy.
His short self. He like... Where's that little voice coming from? Step around him. He's a... Good evening.
What interesting relatives you have, Miss Elizabeth.
Clearly my family are having a competition to see who can expose themselves to the most ridicule.
Well, at least Bingley has not noticed.
Oh my God, is she drunk? Maybe sit down and eat, girl.
Bennett, wake up.
They've been partying all night, won't they?
Charles, you cannot be serious.
What? You don't want him to marry her? Cause she's not poor. I mean, she's not rich.
We'll be having a wedding here at Netherfield in less than 3 months, if you ask me, Mr. Bennett.
To hell.
Oh God, here he go. Is he leaving?
Mrs. Bennet, I was hoping, if it would not trouble you, that I might solicit a private audience with Miss Elizabeth in the course of the morning.
A private audience?
Oh, yes, certainly. Lizzie will be very happy
No, she won't.
indeed. Everyone out.
He better not propose to her, and if he do, she better refuse it. No, she better get up and leave. He just don't understand. He just don't understand, right? He not picking up on the social cues.
Dear Miss Elizabeth, I'm sure my attentions have been too marked.
He's not ugly though.
Perhaps I may state my reasons for marrying. Firstly, that it is the duty of a clergyman to set the example of matrimony in his parish. I am to inherit the estate, and such an alliance will surely suit everyone.
Mr. Collins!
And that no reproach on the subject of fortune will cross my lips once we're married.
You are too hasty, sir. You forget that I have given no answer. I am honoured by your proposal, but I regret that I must decline it.
I know ladies don't seek to seem too eager.
Mr. Collins, I am perfectly serious.
Period.
So I must conclude that you simply seek to increase my love by suspense.
Sir.
According to the usual practice of elegant females.
Sir, I am not the sort of female to torment a respectable man. Please understand me. I cannot accept you.
Now they're laughing in the background.
Tell her you insist upon them marrying.
Shut up, girl.
You love this house.
I can't marry
And
him.
save your sisters from destitution.
Why am I caring about them?
Think of your family.
You cannot make me.
Mr. Bennett, say something.
Your mother insists on you marrying.
She can marry him.
You must be a stranger to one of your
Who
parents.
will maintain you when your father is dead?
Your mother will never see you again if you do not marry Mr. Collins.
Y'all made a different man.
And I will never see you again if you do.
Period.
Bennett.
That daddy, I love that daddy. That mama, that hussy gotta go.
I shall never speak to you again.
Girl, don't threaten me with a good time.
What's the matter? Jane.
Oh, is he leaving? Wait, they can't be leaving, right? Or they... Ooh. Dang. Yeah.
I don't understand what would take him from Netherfield. Why would he not know when he was to return? Caroline sees that her brother is in love with you and has taken him off to persuade him otherwise.
But I know her to be incapable of willfully deceiving anyone. It's far more likely that he does not love me and never has.
He loves you, Jane. Do not give up.
Period. Never give up.
Go to our aunt and uncle's in London. Let it be known you are there, and I am sure he will come to you.
Give my love to my sister and try not to be a burden, dear.
Ooh. That make me dizzy.
Charlotte. My dear Lizzie, I've come here to tell you
You're
the
married?
news. Mr. Collins and I are engaged.
Engaged?
Yes.
Girl, she dating Mr. Collins? You know he just proposed to me, right?
But he's ridiculous. Oh, hush. Not all of us can afford to be romantic. I've been offered a comfortable home and
What, their home?
it's a lot to be thankful for. Charlotte. I'm 27.
Oh, she's a spinster.
I've no money and no prospects. I'm already a burden to my parents.
I feel that, girl.
Don't you dare judge me.
Do what you gotta do. But does that mean that they're gonna take her home? Because isn't that like his estate? Really?
Welcome to our humble abode. My wife encourages me to spend as much time in the garden as possible for the sake of my health.
My dear, her journey.
And I plan many improvements, of course.
So he don't want their house.
Any young lady would be happy to be the mistress of such a house.
Little nephew.
We shan't be disturbed here. This parlour is for my own particular use.
What's happened?
Charlotte?
Has the pig escaped again? Oh, it's Lady Catherine. Come and see Lizzie.
Her mum?
Received an invitation to visit Rosings this evening from Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
How wonderful.
Do not make yourself uneasy, my dear cousin, about your apparel.
Just put on whatever you've brought that's best.
Lady Catherine's never been averse to the truly humble.
One of the most extraordinary
That's a
sights in all of
pretty-
Europe, is it not?
Estate. Like it looks so pretty. Look at the tree in the yard, the grass, the buildings. So, ooh.
Mr. Bird.
Baby, look at the painting. The bodies on these people. Period. Just love how that sun is kissing that brown hair. And who is Catherine of who?
So you are Elizabeth Bennet.
I am, your ladyship.
This is my daughter.
What about her?
It's very kind of you to
Grew
ask
up
us to
alone,
dine,
cost
Lady
upwards of
Catherine.
£300.
Hey, Darcy.
What are you doing here?
His eyes are so pretty.
You know my nephew?
Yes.
Yes, Ma'am. I had the pleasure of meeting your nephew in Hertfordshire.
Mr. Collins, you can't sit next to your wife. Move.
What?
Over there.
Over where? Oh, I see how they did that. I guess you would sit across for them?
Trust your family is in good health, Miss Elizabeth.
Yes, Mr. Darcy.
My eldest sister is currently in London. Perhaps you happen to see her there.
I haven't been fortunate enough, no.
Play the pianoforte, Miss Bennet.
What?
A little, Ma'am, and very...
I mean, I was watching Bridgerton, I thought they were saying mom, but they really saying ma'am.
Has your governess left you?
We never had a governess.
No governess.
No.
5 daughters brought up at home without a governess. I never heard
What is that, a governess?
Your mother must have been quite a slave to your education.
Not at all, Lady Catherine.
And you only the second. The younger ones out before the elders are married. Your youngest sisters must be very young.
But I think it would be very hard on younger sisters not to have their share of amusement because the elder is still unmarried. It would hardly encourage sisterly affection.
Upon my word, you give your opinion very decidedly for so young a person.
Okay.
Come, Miss Bennet, and play for us.
Girl, what? I told you I don't play.
No, I beg you.
For music is my delight.
Then why don't you play?
I should have been a great proficient.
What? You still got time, girl?
So would Anne, if her health would have allowed her.
Play poorly.
Come, Lizzie. Her ladyship demands it.
Then why don't she do it herself, girl? I'm not here for your entertainment, girl. And you sit here grabbing your tea, probably her coffee too. Pinkies up, keep it classy.
How does Georgiana get along, Darcy?
She played good. She played okay.
You mean to frighten me, Mr. Darcy, by coming in all your state to hear me?
Well enough acquainted with you, Miss Elizabeth, to know that I cannot alarm you, even should I wish it.
What was my friend like?
Can you leave us be, please?
You really care to know? The first time I saw him at the assembly, he danced with nobody at all. Even though gentlemen were scarce and there was more than one young lady sitting down without a partner.
I knew nobody beyond my own party.
Oh, and nobody can be introduced in a ballroom.
I do not have the talent of conversing easily with people I have never met before.
Oh.
Perhaps you should take your aunt's advice and practice.
Not too much. He seems like a sweet guy. Like he just doesn't, he's not really comfortable around people that he don't know. He's just not really as social. I love like the long looks that they give, like certain characters give. Hopefully nobody dies in this. Hey.
Mr. Darcy.
He's shaking. In his boots. You okay? He gonna propose?
I'm afraid Mr. and Mrs. Collins have gone on business to the village.
I know. Oh, is he so nervous?
This is a charming house. I believe my aunt did a great deal to it when Mr. Collins first arrived.
She could not have bestowed her kindness on a more grateful subject.
So.
Shall I call for some tea?
No.
So you want to just sit here and stare at me? Is that what you want to do?
Good day, Miss Elizabeth. It's been a pleasure.
Girl, you can't tell that man like you.
Apply for consolation.
What happened to the foot soldier? We're not gonna see him no more. He's still in jail.
So how long do you plan to stay in Kent, Colonel?
As long as Darcy chooses. Darcy is a most loyal companion. He recently came to the rescue of one of his friends just in time.
What happened?
He saved the man from an imprudent marriage.
Who was the man?
His closest friend, Charles Bingley.
Ooh. So he pulled.
Did Mr. Darcy give a reason for this interference?
I think it was a family that was considered unsuitable.
So he separated them?
I believe so. I know nothing else.
Come on, Darcy.
I have struggled in vain and I can bear it no longer. These past months have been a torment. I came to Rosings with the single object of seeing you. I had to see you. I have fought against my better judgment, my family's expectation, the inferiority of your birth and circumstance, all these things, and I'm willing to put them aside and ask you to end my agony.
I don't understand.
I love you.
But you didn't want to afford her sister with love.
Please do me the honor of accepting my hand.
I would do it.
I appreciate the struggle you have been through, and I am very sorry to have caused you pain.
Is this your reply?
Yes, sir.
Are you laughing at me?
No.
Are you rejecting me? Might I ask why with so little endeavour at civility I must reply?
I have other reasons. You know I have.
What reasons?
Do you think that anything might tempt me to accept a man who has ruined, perhaps forever, the happiness of a most beloved sister?
You deny it, Mr. Darcy. That you separated a young couple who loved each other, exposing your friend to the centre of the world for caprice, and my sister, kind.
I do not deny it.
How could you do it?
Realise his attachment was deeper than hers.
That's because she's shy. I suppose you suspect that his fortune had some
No,
bearing
I
on
wouldn't
the
be your
matter.
sister the dishonour, though it was suggested.
What was?
No, there was, however, I have to admit, the matter of your family.
Our want of connection. Mr. Bingley didn't seem to vex
No, it was
himself
more
about
than
that.
that.
How, sir?
It was the lack of propriety showed by your mother, your 3 younger sisters, even on occasion your father.
This conversation is tense.
You and your sister, I must exclude.
He said the rest of the clan is heathens.
And what about Mr. Wickham? Excuse can you give your behaviour towards him?
You take an eager interest in that gentleman's
He
concerns.
told me of his misfortune.
Oh, yes, his misfortune.
He is so beautiful. I can't say that enough. Like, the eyes, the lips, the shape of the face.
Could you expect me to rejoice in the inferiority of your circumstances?
From the first moment I met you, your arrogance and conceit, your selfish disdain made me realise that you were the last man in the world I could ever be prevailed upon.
Oh. Is he gonna kiss her?
Forgive me, madam, for taking up so much of your time.
He looks so hurt, but he's not like, he hasn't done good things, and I understand that. I understand to a certain extent kind of sort of why he would do them, but it's just like, dang it.
I came to leave you this.
Oh, no. Are you leaving?
I shall not renew the sentiments which were so disgusting to you. But if I may, I will address the 2 offences you have laid against me. My father loved Mr. Wickham as a son, but upon my father's death, Mr. Wickham announced he had no intention of taking orders. He demanded the value of the living which he was given, and which he gambled away within weeks. He then wrote demanding more money, which I refused. He came back to see us last summer, at which point he declared passionate love for my sister, whom he tried to persuade to elope with
So he can get more money.
She is to inherit £30,000. When it was made clear he would never receive a penny of that inheritance, he disappeared.
So he married her?
She was 15 years old.
15? How old is that man?
As to the other matter, that of your sister and Mr. Bingley, they were in the service of a friend.
Are you all right?
Splendid.
I hardly know.
So is she gonna find him again? They have to find each other, right? Let's bridge that gap, right? Right?
I saw Mr. Darcy when I was at Rosings. Did he mention Mr. Bingley?
Yes, he did.
No.
Oh, she's not gonna tell her? Oh.
No, he did not.
Oh, that's a pretty shot. To be standing on the edge of the world. Call my dragon, and we riding out. Oh, Oh, that's a pretty horse.
Where exactly are we? I think we're quite close to Pemberley.
Mr. Darcy's home.
Ooh.
That's the fellow.
He's so...
So what?
He's so rich.
Objecting to poor Mr. Darcy because of his wealth. The poor man can't help it.
He won't be there anyway. These great men are never at home.
Just her luck, he'll be home. Look at this sucker out of a painting. Oh my God. That's what I said too. Checkerboard floors. Damn, is that marble? I want one of these in my house. I want to get like a mini mansion one day. In one of my rooms, I do want to put like a mural of like that, either on one wall or either on the ceiling. Look at this. Is that him? Is that his thing in the back?
This is he, Mr. Darcy.
Yeah, we know, girl.
A handsome face.
Beautiful eyes.
Is it a true likeness?
Does the young lady know Mr. Darcy?
I too. I'm glad that that it isn't like one of those sad movies. I'm happy to just bask in a good love story. Come on, look at this. Look at this. Oh, that's his sister. What I tell y'all, I knew he gonna be here. Darcy. Ooh. Now she ran out. That man already saw you, girl.
Miss Elizabeth.
Yes. His shit clenches a click, and you hear me?
No, I
We
came
would not
back
have
a
come
day
had we
early.
known
Some
you-
business with my steward.
I'm in Derbyshire with my aunt and uncle.
And now you're having a pleasant trip.
Very pleasant.
Are you staying at Lambton?
Yes, at the Rose and Crown.
Yes.
They said that the house was open for visitors. I had no idea.
I just love this.
May I see you back to the village?
No.
Girl, don't play hard to get.
See?
They see that too? He said, I can't even get my girl.
Lizzie, we've just met Mr. Darcy. You didn't tell us that you'd seen him. He's asked us to dine with him tomorrow. He was very civil, was he not?
Girl, he's talking about keep her here.
To dine with him. He particularly wants you to meet his sister.
Yeah. Let's see her face. We ain't seen her face yet. Oh, that's the girl that married the man, right? That left out on him? Oh, she is young.
Miss Elizabeth.
Oh, she's a rare sunshine. I can already tell.
My brother has told me so much about you. I feel as if we are friends already.
Oh.
Thank you. What a beautiful pianoforte. Your unfortunate brother once had to put up with my playing for a whole evening.
But he says you play so well.
Then he has perjured himself most profoundly.
No, I said played quite well.
I'm eating it up. She looks very familiar. I've seen her in something else.
Will I to bore you, madam? Oh, it's from Jane.
Oh. What happened? Somebody died?
Lydia has run away
Oh, the sister.
with Mr. Wickham.
What?
They are gone from Brighton to Lord knows where.
Mr. Wickham.
This is my fault. If only I had exposed Wickham when I should.
I might have prevented all this merely by being open with my sisters.
He was so handsome, but just, ugh.
Would I could help you?
So I think it is too late.
No, it's not. That man is so handsome, but just so, ooh. My goodness.
Now, why did the Forsters let her out of their sight? Who will take you now with a fallen sister?
A fallen sister? What they got to do with them?
Poor Mr. Bennet will now have to fight the perfidious Wickham and then be killed.
Do not be so alarmed, Mamma. Our uncle has gone to London and is helping.
Oh, Joanna.
Oh, what this must be doing to my nerves. How could she do such a thing to her poor mamma?
Girl, everything is not about you.
Let me catch my breath.
It's in Uncle's
Let me clear my throat. Da-da-da-da-da.
Who's found them?
They're married. They will be if Father will settle £100 a year on her. That is Wickham's condition. £100? He will agree to this, Father.
Yes, I'll agree. No man in his senses would marry Lydia under so slight a temptation as 100 a year. Your uncle must have been very generous.
Lydia married. And at 15, too. Ring the bell, Kitty. I must put on my
That
things
mama.
and tell Lady Lucas. Oh, to see her face.
But he's already married to Georgiana.
When you have 5 daughters, Lizzie, tell me what else will occupy your thoughts, and then perhaps you will understand.
That mama is trash. She just the family's ruined. Why did she do this to me?
We passed Sarah Sims in her carriage, so I took off my glove and let my hand just rest.
But I don't understand how 2 broke people can. Like, both of them are broke. I don't understand how, like, right? You guess what, Drew?
Well, Monday morning came and I was in such a fuss.
I don't want to hear.
But I didn't hear a word because I was thinking of my dear Wickham.
I would wake it up at the table. What happened to your other wife?
He'd come back, or I would have had to ask Mr. Darcy, but I don't think he'd like
Mr. Darcy? Mr. Darcy was at your wedding.
He was the one that discovered us. He paid for the wedding. Wickham's commission. Everything.
He helped her. But wasn't he married to the sister? Am I tripping? He's a scammer, but he's a handsome scammer. Is he abusive? You see the way he snatched her down in that seat?
Mr. Bingley is returning to Netherfield.
Mr. Bingley?
Mrs. Nichols is...
Because Mr. Darcy's setting everything right.
He's in. Oh, my goodness. Everybody behave naturally. And whatever you do, do not appear overbearing.
Look, there's someone with him.
It's Darcy. The very insolence of it.
When I tell you the girls are racking up the men, they're racking up the men. I know that's right, girls.
Very glad we are to see you, Mr. Bingley. There've been a great many changes.
Yes, I did hear of it. I offer my congratulations.
Do you hope to stay long in the country, Mr. Bingley?
Just a few weeks.
Are you well, Mr. Darcy?
Quite well.
I hope that the weather stays fine for your sport.
I return to town tomorrow.
My Jane looks well. Does she not?
Does she not?
Does indeed. But I would like to request the privilege of speaking to Miss Bennet. Alone.
Everybody to the kitchen. Immediately.
She talking like he got a master tool to her head. Like he said, everybody leave. And she like, everybody to the kitchen.
It's so good to see you again so soon.
Girl.
I must tell you I've been the most unmitigated and comprehensive ass.
Yes.
She would.
1,000 times, yes.
Period. My girl would go over to live well.
Thank the Lord for that. I thought it would never happen.
That mama. Get your man, Lizzie.
Lizzie, if I could but see you so happy, if there was such another man for you.
There's one.
Coming!
Is it Darcy? Oh, no, he's gonna walk.
Lady Catherine.
How can I help you, sis?
Can be at no loss, Miss Bennet, to understand why I am here.
Indeed, you are mistaken. I cannot account for this honour at all.
Miss Bennet, I warn you that you intend to be united with my nephew, Mr. Darcy.
Who's that?
I know this to be a scandalous falsehood.
If you believed it to be impossible, I wonder you took the trouble of coming so far.
To hear it contradicted, Miss Bennet.
Your coming will be rather a confirmation, surely, if indeed such a report exists. You may ask a question which I may choose not to answer.
This is not to be borne. Has my nephew made you an offer of marriage?
Your ladyship has declared it to be impossible.
Mr. Darcy is engaged to my daughter. Now what have you to say?
I have no reason to suppose he would make an offer to me.
You selfish girl. This union has been planned since they...
He don't want your daughter.
It can be prevented by a young woman of inferior birth.
Yes.
Once and for all, are you engaged to him?
Yes.
I am not.
You should have said yes to ruffle her feathers.
You have insulted me in every possible way and can now have nothing further to say.
Period, Lizzie.
I must ask you to leave immediately.
Get out of my house! I love that morning dew. It's just something about it. Is that Darcy? Period, Darcy. Walking like Snape.
I couldn't sleep.
Laura, my aunt.
Yes, she was here.
How can I ever make amends for such a baby?
After what you have done for Lydia, and I suspect for Jane also, it is I who should be making amends.
You must know.
Period.
Surely you must know it was all for you. I believe you spoke with my aunt last night and it has taught me to hope, as I'd scarcely allowed myself before.
So, wait, so his He was supposed to marry the sickly daughter.
My affections and wishes have not changed. If, however, your feelings have changed, I would have to tell you. You have bewitched me, body and soul, and I love you. I never wish to be parted from you from this day on.
This is some romantic stuff. I can't.
Well then.
Did she kiss the ring? Look at that, the light peeking through. I love a good love story.
Shut the door, please, Elizabeth. This would be nothing if you really liked him.
I do like him. I love him.
Period.
He's not proud. I was wrong. I was entirely wrong about him.
I thought she didn't like him. So did I. So did we all.
Can they see how just like weird it is? They're just sitting there watching that man walk back and forth.
He and I are so similar. We're both so stubborn. But
You really do love him, don't you?
very much.
And I love this out of all the sisters that's been engaged. She's the one who has the deeper connection with the person.
I heartily give my consent.
Oh. Now I'm crying. Is that his house? Now he looking like the guy from Hocus Pocus in the beginning. The first movie.
How are you this evening, my dear?
Only I wish you would not call me my dear. Lizzie for every day. My pearl for Sunday. Goddess divine, but only on very...
God is divine.
You may only call me Mrs. Darcy when you are incandescently happy.
And how are you this evening, Mrs. Darcy?
Oh my God, I just love. I really do.
Mrs. Darcy.
This is too cute.
Mrs. Darcy.
Period. Oh no. Well, girls and girls, that was Pride and Prejudice. I'm just like, wow, I love a good love story, and I'm so glad that it wasn't sad. Like, I'm so glad there wasn't any death, but I genuinely love a great love story. I love the way that it was shot. I love the way that it was written. I love the way that they were speaking. I love the way that they looked at each other with just so much passion, especially him. Like, he looked at her oftentimes like the look, like, oh my God, like, oh. Thank you guys for telling me to watch this. I never honestly would have watched this on my own. Especially because it's been like 2 hours. I was like, I'm really iffy about time period. Like, not time pieces, but I'm really iffy about period pieces. So this definitely would have been like a for me. But thank you guys. If you guys like the full and unedited version of this reaction and more, definitely check out my Patreon in the description box below. Forgive me for the light switch, but yeah. Do all the YouTube things. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because why not? On that note, I'm going to head on out. I send everybody under the sound of my voice a ton load, an abundance load of peace, love, and positivity.